go ahead and start. So like I said, let's begin any way you are comfortable. So if it's been a long day, maybe on your back and just stretch out. Find Shavasana or right away hip opener, or I always like to use these blocks. So the bottom block for the bottom of my rib cage, and then the top block on the tallest setting for my head. That's kind of my go-to way to start if I feel like I've particularly been in a rounded shape for a lot of the day. So love to get open in this way. Maybe it feels good to just splat on your mat flat, or find a comfortable seat, rooting your sitting bones down and lengthening up through the crown of the head. So just find a position to drop into for just a few breaths here at the beginning of practice. And just be aware of how your body is in this seat, whatever you've chosen to be in. And just be aware of any sensations, any thoughts right now, maybe just checking in with your inner landscape, checking in with your breath, how it's flowing, if it's getting stuck anywhere, and your physical body, if anything is tight or tense, and without the need to change anything, just kind of observe. So this practice is a practice of non-judgment, and so just kind of lovingly breathe into your body and feel how the breath helps to relax you and clear the mind. I was going through some old journals today. I want to share this reading by Caroline Adams that I thought was pretty good. So as you breathe, as you relax, I'll share this with you. Your life is a sacred journey. It is about change, growth, discovery, movement, transformation, continually expanding your vision of what's possible, stretching your soul, learning to see clearly and deeply, listening to your intuition, taking courageous challenges at every step along the way. You are on the path, exactly where you are meant to be right now. And from here, you can only go forward, shaping your life story into a magnificent tale of triumph, of healing, of courage, of beauty, of wisdom, of power, of dignity, and of love. Take a deep breath and let that soak in a little bit. And from that, we can use that mantra, you are exactly where you are meant to be. We are all on the path. We are all on a path. So starting to find that Ujjayi breath. And yoga helps us to really dive deep and connect to our truth. So feel your body expand as you breathe. Bringing the breath in through the nose, let it sweep against the back of the throat. Our Vinyasa Flow practice, it's really helpful to have our Ujjayi breath. So we feel the breath at the back of the throat. As you breathe in, feel it spread. As you breathe out, sweeps up and out through the nose. So it makes a slight ocean-like sound. Take a few more like that. Breathe in. So we're really expanding the elasticity in the lungs, stretching the lungs and the tissues. And then be aware of the exhale, the completeness of the exhale. Last two here. Deep breath in. Feel the bottoms of the lungs, the backs of the lungs. Exhale, releasing your diaphragm, releasing the breath back out. Good, you are exactly where you're meant to be. So from wherever you are, if you're on your back, let's come off any blocks. You might be on hug your knees into your chest. If you're seated, let's actually come onto our backs. So lying down, we'll meet everyone here. Let's hug the knees into the chest, rocking side to side. We'll start to connect right away to the core. So we'll bring the knees so that they're up over the hips, and we'll flex the feet here. So the shin bones are parallel to the floor. And let's go ahead and bring the arms to a T. So we sometimes work this with the hands alongside the body. A little more difficult with the arms out here. So if anytime you want to take them down, that's great. And then, so we've done this before. We tap one heel down at a time. So you can work with that if the low back feels kind of tender today. Otherwise, we're going to keep one, let's say the right shin bent, and we're going to straighten the left leg. Straighten the leg fully, reach through the heel and hover the leg, and just kind of hold there. And then let's take that left knee back up to the right knee, and then switch. So the right leg straightens, extends, feet are flexed, almost like you're standing on a surface. And if this is too much for the lower back, just keep both knees bent. And then let's switch. So tabletop, let's call this table with the legs, and then extend the left leg, reach through the heels, spread the toes, palms can face up or down, and really feel your abdominals, your transverse abdominis wrapping. Your lower back curve is neutral, so you're not trying to push your low back down into the floor. And then switch. Let's hover that right leg, straighten the leg, powerful leg. So the toes are facing up, pretty intense core work, and we're seemingly not really doing a whole lot. And then let's connect with the breath. So both bent, table. Inhale, extend left. Exhale, table. Inhale, extend right. Exhale, table. Breathe down into the belly. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. So you're just alternating. The feet are active. Exhale, let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Both knees, both feet push down into the floor. Scoot your hips over to the left, just about an inch. Revolved belly pose. Knees come back up and then fall over to the right for your twist. Inhale deeply. Exhale, revolve the belly and the ribs toward the left. Try to move the left thigh bone kind of forward and down. And gaze over the left shoulder. Back to center with the head. Use the abdominals to bring the knees back up. Tap the feet down, send the hips to the right an inch. Inhale, prepare, exhale to let the knees fall to the left. So inhale deeply, exhale, revolve the ribs to the right. Spread the right shoulder blade down into the floor. Spread your fingertips away from you. I like to take my left hand on top of the right thigh to just anchor it there. Give a little resistance, a little weight. Deep breath here. Relax the face. Bring the head back to center. Bring both knees back up and into the chest. And then you can again rock side to side. Let's rock forward back a few times with that newfound awareness of the core right away. We'll come up to table, or we'll come up to a cross-legged and just do a side bend. Right palm down, left arm reaches up and over. Take a nice deep breath here. Inhale, lift up, lengthen. Exhale, go over to the left. So grounding the left palm down, the right arm reaches. The neck stays relaxed. Take a deep breath into the right side body. Soft neck. Good, and then come all the way up. And let's go onto the hands and knees. So we'll start with a few rounds of cat-cow. So finding your alignment, spreading the fingers wide. Breathe in, let the belly drop, tailbone lifts. Exhale, tailbone drops to the backs of the knees. Crown of the head melts towards your thumbs. And then find your flow. Inhaling, Ujjayi breath. Exhale, breath pours out. Navel to spine, chin to chest. So feel how your inhales open up the front body, stretching the abdominals. The exhales open up the back body. Coming back to neutral spine. Let's take some hip circles. We're going to start with the right knee, and we're just going to circle the knee. So you're thinking of your right femur bone, your thigh bone, circling around in your hip socket. And then let's go the other way. And we're really staying connected with the shoulders. We're plugging the upper arm bones into the shoulder sockets. So think of drawing the thumbs towards each other. So we'll stop the circles, put your knee down, send the left shin off your mat a little bit and come into a modified side plank. So the right hip stacks on top of the left. You're going to float the right leg up and reach the right arm up into the air. Deep breath here, draw in through the belly, tailbone is lengthening forward, and then let's spin the palm toward the floor, reach the right arm up and overhead by the bicep by the ear. Extend as you breathe in, and then we're going to crunch the knee to the elbow. Exhale. Inhale, get long. Exhale to crunch. So a few more like this, and draw the left shoulder blade down your back strongly. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale. Last one here, exhale. Inhale. Whoop, I'm losing my balance. And then let's bend the knee. take the right hand and see if you can grab your ankle and then stretch out the front of the hip flexor and the quads. Stay strong with that bottom shoulder down the back. Nice full breath. Good, and then release it. Look back down, come to your table, drop onto the right forearm and the left forearm. Check your alignment, so your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Engage the core, step back, dolphin plank. Okay, so tailbone back to the heels. Belly draws in, push down firmly through the forearms. The gaze is slightly forward of the thumbs, and really using the abdominals to lift. For 3, breathing deeply. 2. And 1, lower all the way down to your belly. And then come up to a little 10-finger cobras. Inhale, little Bhujangasana. Exhale, rolling down through the spine. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release down. So the pubic bone is pushing down. Inhale, the belly draws up. Exhale, good. And then from here, push back up into your tabletop. Curl the toes, come back up onto the knees, and we'll circle the left ankle around, or the left thigh bone around in the socket. I'm gonna turn this way. Okay, so big wide circles, just bringing some fluidity to the hip. And then let's reverse. Going the other way, drawing the thumbs in, really engaging the shoulders, staying firm there. And then put your knees down, send the right shin off your mat, draw the right shoulder down the back, and then open up into your side plank. So the left hip on top of the right, and then maybe the left arm starts up, and then turn the palm toward the floor. So the arm stretches overhead. Take a deep breath in, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, see if you can touch. If not, no worries. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. And this time we'll bend the knee. Take the left arm and back and see if you can find your foot or your ankle. Shin, draw right shoulder blade down the back, stretch out the front of the left hip. Spread the toes, smile, deep breath. Good, and then let's release that. Look down, back to table, left forearm down, right forearm down. Step back, left and right. Here we go. So we're back in our dolphin plank. So really strong shoulders away from the ears. Let's maybe pick the right foot up just a few inches so it doesn't change the shape in the spine. Nice full breath. Put that down. You can always put both knees down and it's still a lot of work. And then maybe left leg comes up but not too high. Right, so just a few inches, gazing slightly forward. Put that down. Come all the way down to the belly. Let's come to Sphinx pose. Pushing pubic bone down, navel in, push down, drag the hands back, widen your collarbones, spread your toes and push them into the floor. Full breath. Let's breathe in through the nose. Open up the mouth. One more inhale. Stick out your tongue, exhale. Come all the way down. Traditional cobra, inhale, lift up. Exhale, release, and let's come into downward facing dog. First one of the day. So make your way back. You can pedal your feet or do any of the movements that you like to do for your first downward facing dog. Just get into your body, let it feel good. Connect with your breathing. Let the neck relax a little bit, maybe shake your head no. Maybe lift your heels high and then stretch them down to the floor. Bending both knees. If your legs feel kind of tight, just do what you like to do. Take a few more breaths here. And if you want to just find a child's pose right away, that's great too. I'm going to just check in real quick. Finding your breath. In and out through the nose. Nice. Good. Beautiful, you guys. Inhale, let's shift it forward into plank pose whenever you're ready. So feet are about hip width apart here. As you shift forward, the tailbone moves to the heels. We stack shoulders over the wrists. Find your alignment just like in our dolphin plank. Draw the thumbs together. Gaze is slightly forward. Belly draws up. Deep breath in. Exhale, down dog. Walk the feet forward to your thumbs, standing forward fold. Take a few breaths here. So feet can be hip width apart here, or wider, or closer together, whatever you like. And knees can be slightly bent to start. You can just kind of get in to your first forward fold as you like. So I like to finger paint sometimes, just sliding the fingers along the floor, maybe opposite elbows. If shoulders are feeling kind of tight, you can lace the hands behind you and get into the front of the shoulders. Let the head drop. So all of that tension in the neck can release down. Any holding in the head, release it down toward the floor. And then you can start to straighten the legs and push the feet firmly down and move them apart energetically. Releasing any hand variations you have going on. Inhale to a flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. So if the fingertips don't touch the floor, they go to shins or your blocks. Get really long through the waist. Good, almost like you're making a number 7. Belly draws in, shoulders draw down. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, slowly come up. Let the head be the last thing to rise. Once you're there, tailbone drops and roots down. Inhale, arms circle up. Exhale, hands come into the heart. Good. Surya Namaskara A to warm up a little more. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, forward fold. You can always put a little bend in the knees if you like. Inhale, lift halfway. Step back to plank pose. Draw the thumbs together. Inhale, shift forward on the toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Let's come all the way down to the belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Push back. Take a big full breath. Stretching the heels down towards the floor. Pushing the hands away from the feet. Soft neck. Inhale, look at the front of the mat. Exhale, you can take little steps or a hop to your thumbs. Inhale, get long, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold back in, drop the head. Inhale, rise all the way up. Use the glutes on the way up. Engage the core. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen your spine. Step the opposite foot back. If you can remember, we tend to step the same foot back, or I tend to step the same foot back. Inhale, draw the thumbs together, strong arms. Exhale, chaturanga, maybe up dog, so we come to the tops of the feet, straighten the arms, lift the chest, and then going to down dog, engage the core on the way back. Take the right leg up into the air for 3-legged dog, stretching the left heel down. Push all the finger pads into the floor, especially the index finger and the thumb, and the base of the index finger and the thumb. Inhale again. Maybe leg goes a little higher, maybe not. Exhale, knee to nose. And then let's step the foot to the right thumb. Put the back knee down for low lunge. Anjaneyasana. Good. So we're just settling in here, getting into the hips a little bit with this sequence. So we want the right knee over the right ankle. If you want, you can stay low with the fingertips. You can use blocks, or you can start to kind of climb up the leg, the thigh. Hands can go on the thigh, or they can reach all the way up for full expression. You're drawing the feet towards each other, so hugging the thighs in to open up the front hip flexors, left leg. Deep expansive breath, inhale. Exhale. Put your hands down, come into Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Straighten up the front leg if you can. If it's bent a little bit, that's fine. Blocks are helpful here. Shoulders stay down the back. So the left knee is over the left knee is under the left hip. Spine is long if you can. Shoulders down the back. Spread the toes and attempt to drag the right foot back to the back of the mat. Nice full breath into the hamstrings, just releasing the hamstrings muscles. Good, and then we're gonna come forward again, curl your toes under and pivot toward the left. So we come into our wide angle fold. Inhale, flat back, make sure the toes and the kneecaps are facing forward, and then exhale, bring the crown of the head toward the floor. Maybe walking the hands back toward the line of the feet, the plane of the feet, and then take your shoulder heads up, away from your ears. Deep, full breath here, Prasarita Padottanasana A. Again, releasing tension from the neck, so just let the weight of the head drop down. Navel lifts to the spine. Inhale, let's come up to a flat back. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, we'll prepare for a twist. The right hand under the heart. Exhale, the left arm reaches up. Inhale, let's come back to center. Exhale, the right arm reaches up. So just getting that rotation in the upper back. Come back down to center. Twist again. Exhale, left arm up. Back to center, inhale. Exhale, right arm up. Good. Back to center. Skandasana to the left. So pivot the left foot and so that the toes and the kneecap go the same way. And you can stay like a warrior foot on the right leg, or you can lift up onto the heel. So the toes face north and the foot flexes. So either of those foot options are okay. Good. And then Skandasana to the right, bend the right knee. So same thing, whatever foot variation you did, you can be down on your fingertips, or if you're a little more comfortable with the pose, hands can come to the heart. Let's go to the left again. Good. Nice. And then let's go to the right. And then go back to the front of the mat, pivot the right toes forward, put your back knee down. We're going to twist, either the right arm can come up, or you can take the hand back to grab the foot, get into the quads again. Roll the chest open, draw the shoulder blades towards the back of the heart, relax your neck. And stay engaged with this bottom shoulder, draw it down the back. Good, release that. Come out of your twist, step back to plank pose. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga, lower down. Inhale for a back bend, cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, make your way back to downward facing dog. Nice. Left leg floats up and back. Three-legged dog, we hold here. Again, grounding the ball of the hand, so the index finger and the thumb, the base, really strongly right there. It's more weight bearing here, the radius, the bone on the inner, on the thumb side of the hand. Stretch your right heel down, take your left leg up a little more, inhale. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose, step the foot down, and then back knee drop. So just slowly getting into the hips. You can let the pelvis sink towards the floor. You can grab your blocks if that's helpful, underneath the hands. And then as you start to lift the torso up, engage the base of the building a little more. So pulling the feet together a little more actively if you're gonna rise, if you're gonna bring the spine up. So just a little different sensation there in the front of the hip. We don't quite go to the most flexible part of the hip when we engage a little bit more. So pulling the feet towards each other, and then maybe the arms can come up for full Anjaneyasana. The navel lifts towards the spine. The tailbone moves in. Good. Deep breath. Fingertips come down to the floor or blocks. Guide the hips back, straighten the front leg. Heart still moving forward in space for Ardha Hanumanasana, our half splits, half monkey God pose. The shoulders stay down the back, the neck stays long. And we're spreading the toes and dragging the heel toward the back of the mat. Soften the breath. Kind of feel as if the breath can soften the hamstrings and their attachments. Softening and stretching and lengthening the back of the leg. Good. So we're going to come forward again, turn the back toes under, and then walk to the right. So here we are in the wide-legged stance again. This time we're going to spin the heels in and the toes out, sink into goddess squat or horseman's pose. You can bring your hands to the thighs. You can move a little bit here if you'd like, side to side, up and down, just kind of warming and stretching the hips at the same time. Good. And after a bit of movement here, a few breaths, let's come into stillness. So feel the tailbone dropping and feel that kind of wrapping sensation through the abdominals. Let's spread the wings, turn the palms facing down, facing up a few times. So you're rotating your arm bones and their sockets. You can take big wide circles. Really anything you want to do, any movement here is welcome. Good, nice. It's kind of nice to just move around a little bit. Fluidity in the shoulder joint. Let's add a little bit, left forearm to left thigh, right arm up and over, kind of like side angle, just getting into a side bend. Right forearm, right thigh, left arm up and over. Good, coming back to center. Let's straighten the legs, turn the feet parallel. Once again, take the hands, lace them behind. If you did that earlier, do the other thumb on top. Lift the chest, straighten the arms, deep breath in, and exhale. We're just coming into Prasarita C. So we keep the kneecaps lifting, the quadriceps engaged, let the head drop,
and only go to where you're feeling some good sensation there. We don't want to push it. Let the weight of the head drop once again. Navel lifting to the spine. Big full breath. And then let's release the hands down. Come to a flat back. Take a deep breath. Good. Skandasana to the right. So the right toes and kneecap go the same direction. Now maybe lift the arms this time and then go the other way to the left. Yeah, maybe hands are down. That's fine. Maybe you're using blocks. Back to the right and then back to the left. So it gets a little more fluid the more we get used to it. Let's go facing forward. Put your back knee down for the twist. Right fingertips stay down. Left arm reaches up to the sky for the twist, or see if you can find that right foot to stretch and open the right quads a little more. Shoulder blades moving to the back of the heart. Neck soft. Nice full breath. Good. And let's come on out of the twist. Release your foot if you have it. Release the twist. Step back to plank pose. Take a deep breath in. Draw the thumbs together. Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower. Inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. Take the full in breath and then exhale. Find your way downward facing dog. Nice full breath. Taking the right leg up into the air. Three-legged dog. And let's spin the knee and open the hip. Just see how that feels. So circling the ankle is always nice to do here. One direction, the other direction. Stay connected with your hands. Keep your shoulders level if you can as you stretch the left heel down towards the floor. Take the legs straight back behind you. Square off your hip so you're internally rotating the thigh bone. Inhale here, exhale, knee to nose as you step the foot to the right thumb. Back heel grounds down, warrior one. Stretch the arms up and overhead. Good. So I've got a tight left hip, so I'm going to be a little kind of like a warrior 1.5, somewhere between, but ideally, or not ideally, traditionally, both hips are facing forward, both shoulders facing forward, tailbone drops down. But I'm open a little bit today. And if that's you today, great, or any day. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to do an airplane arm, hover over the front thigh. So the belly drops down, the chest pulls forward, and the triceps engage. Really plant the back foot strongly. Deep breath. So we're relying on that right hip and glute to pull in to the midline. From here, inhale, stretch it up, warrior one. Exhale, take the fingertips down. Slide the right leg back a little bit and lift the left leg up for an L stand. So we're going to go L stand to standing splits. If you can't touch the ground, blocks are great. Deep breath in. Exhale, standing split. Good. If you joined me last week, we did this shape quite a bit. Let's lift the shoulder heads so the neck stays long. You can play with your balance if that was working for you last week. So it's like standing forward fold. It's like Uttanasana, but just one leg in the air. So hips stay level. We're stretching that bottom leg. We're opening up the hip flexors of the top leg. Let's come to L stand again. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, we're gonna pull the left knee into the nose. See if you can round your back a little bit. Inhale, extend the leg behind you. Heart moves forward. Exhale, round it out. So think cat-cow a little bit here. Inhale, belly drops, heart lifts, leg extends. Exhale, round it in, knee to nose. Inhale, one more. And then this time, Ardha Matsyendrasana. It's a seated twist. We're gonna bend both knees so that the left knee comes behind the right heel. We come to a seat. The anchor of the pose is the ball of the right foot. Right hand comes behind you. Left arm reaches up to get long, and then we twist to the right. So you can hug that right knee in, or you can take your elbow to the outside of the knee and revolve. Now I'm kind of backing off. I said earlier, twists I've kind of been away from a little bit lately because of picking up my children and last week kayaking. So do what's right for your body. Inhale, there might be a little more length in the spine. Exhale, there might be a little more room to revolve. Or maybe if you're like me, I'm good where I am. Take a nice deep breath. Smile. And then let's come to a counter twist. We're going to turn toward the left. Left hand where it is, behind you. Right arm reaches up. And then we're just going to turn
to the left. Anchor your sitting bones, but we talk about in triangle pose, if you practice with me a lot, how your hips move together as a unit. Your hip bones, that's what you want to think in your seated twists as well. So while your sits bones are rooted down, the right hip point is moving toward the left to get that, so you're not pulling your right SI joint, okay? And then let's come back to center. Rock into your boat pose. Lift your shins up. Here we go. You can hands on hamstrings or straight up. Smile the collarbones. Inhale here. Exhale, lift your lower back, lift your chest. One more, inhale. Exhale. Good. Rock forward onto your hands. You can step back and lower down casually for your vinyasa, or you can shoot it back. So you come forward on the hands, use your core, shoot your legs back, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find your way back. Take your left leg up into the air, three-legged dog. So bend the knee and open up the hip. Stamp that right heel down, and then circle the ankle if you did on the first side. So see how I'm dropping my right shoulder to exaggerate that. See if you can level out your shoulders a little bit while you have the hips open. Soft jaw. And then take the leg behind you, internally rotate your thigh bone. So you've got your hips level again. Inhale. Knee to nose, use the core for your transition to step the foot to the left thumb. That gets easier. Back heel spins down, Virabhadrasana 1. Inhale to rise up. And then settling into your pose. So we want to think internal rotation of the right quadricep, or of the right thigh bone. Hips forward, shoulders forward, arms straight up, tailbone in, just like in our Anjaneyasana. If you don't really know what that feels like, straighten the front leg, stick your butt out, and then move your tailbone in. And then you want the tailbone in to bend the front knee. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, swing the arms back, heart forward, airplane, hold here. Squeeze the triceps, draw the scapula toward the back of the heart. Firm the left hip in. Notice if one side feels different than the other. So always just observing what's happening in your body. Draw the abdominals in. Inhale, lift your gaze, lift your arms. Exhale, fingertips to the floor. Slide the left foot back a little bit, right leg comes up. So it's about parallel to the floor, L stand. This is our starting position for standing splits because it's kind of like Ardha Uttanasana, the 7. So L stand, inhale, and then exhale, crown of the head toward the floor for standing splits. So that may mean that that right leg doesn't go up any higher. That's fine. I'd rather us be there and do the pose so that both hips are level facing down. Maybe the leg has room to go up a little bit, but it's not so important, okay? Shoulders lift away from the ears. You can play with your balance here. Find your breath. Upside down. Kind of like a handstand inversion effect. Let's lift up back to the flat back, L stand. We'll inhale here, pull the spine long. Exhale, bend the knee, round your back. Kiss the knee. Inhale, get long, straighten your leg. Exhale, pull in. So if this is kind of hard, grab your blocks or a water bottle or something at home. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Last one, inhale, extend. Ardha Matsyendrasana, both knees bend. The right knee comes behind the left heel. You sit down on your sits bones. Make sure you're right on the sits bones, so move the flesh away if you need to. Anchor the ball of the left foot. Left hand behind you for the kickstand. To lift you up, the right arm reaches. Inhale, revolve to the left. Half Lord of the Fishes pose. Shoulders draw, again, toward the back of the heart. The left shoulder draws back. Inhale, a little more length. Exhale, maybe more twist. Maybe we stay and breathe. Maybe we back off. Good. And then let's come back to center. Inhale. Right hand behind you. Left arm reaches up. Left hip bone is going to move toward the right. It's just a very subtle movement. Inhale and exhale. Twist to the right. Widen the right collarbone to the right. Nice full breath. Coming back to center. Undo your twist, undo the legs, back up to boat, inhale. Half boat, exhale. Let's come down here for a breath or two. So the nose and toes are in line. If this aggravates the low back, you can have your knees bent, or you can be on the forearms with the legs straight. And then if you want a little more, take your arms straight overhead. So there's tons of ways we can do this, I always say. Lift the gaze so you're not holding your throat too much. Inhale, exhale. Draw the knees to the chest, rock forward and back a few times. Think about chair pose. We're gonna plant the feet, lift the hips, bend the knees, chair pose. Settle in, take a few breaths. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Push the thumb into the heart, feel it beating. Feel grounded on your feet. Inhale, arms reach up. Grab the left wrist, side bend to the right. Inhale, get tall. Switch sides, grab the right wrist, side bend to the left. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, swan dive forward. Take a vinyasa. Inhale, flat back. Stepping back, or if you want to shoot it back, you plant your palms, and with one little swoop, you're lowering down chaturanga, so the gaze moves forward. Inhale for your back bend. Take the full breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg into the sky. Inhale. Tap the right elbow. Exhale. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, tap the left elbow. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, back to the right elbow. Pause here, flex your foot. Take the foot toward the left hand and put it down for pigeon pose. All right, so settle into your pigeon here. If you like props for this, maybe a blanket underneath the right hip just so that it can settle down onto a surface. Try your best to keep your hips squared forward. And we're just going to take a few breaths here. Releasing into the outer right hip, maybe front of the left hip. You can pop onto your finger pads and stay lifted, or you can go onto the forearms for a couple breaths. So we're not settling and relaxing too much. We're going to be active. Drag the back foot forward toward the right heel. Push your shin down into the floor. Take a couple more breaths. Good, and then we'll push back up onto the hands. Curl the back toes under. Step back into a three-legged dog. So the right leg is going to swing up. Bend the knee, open the hip. Straighten the leg square off the hip and then set it down. From here, we're going to walk the feet in a step, a foot's length. Push into the right hand. Take the left hand to the outside of the right leg into the calf or ankle or upper thigh. Revolve your down dog. Look underneath the right armpit. So the key here is a strong right shoulder and arm, tricep and bicep hugging to the bone. And the sits bones are still lifting and lengthening just like a normal down dog. Come back to center, push into the left hand. Right hand comes to the outside of the left leg. So sits bones up and back, revolve. This is Parivrita Adho Mukha Svanasana. Nice full breath. Left shoulder strong. Firm the scapula in. So you're using your serratus muscle, firming that scapula into the rib cage. Back to center. Good. Inhale, plank pose. Maybe a child's pose is for you right now. Maybe a vinyasa before pigeon on the second side. So exhaling, lower down. Inhaling for your back bend, and maybe you're breathing 3 breaths in your child's pose. You'll meet us back in down dog. Left leg floats up. Inhale. Tap the left elbow. Exhale. Inhale. Leg up. Exhale. Twist to the right elbow. Inhale. Leg back. Exhale. Go to the left elbow once again. Flex your foot. Take the shin parallel-ish to the front of the mat and then set it down. And then wiggle that right foot back a little bit, trying to square off the hips, flexing the front foot. And then propping up your left hip if needed. Shoulders stay down the back. So we're trying to push the front shin bone down, drag the right foot toward the left heel. And then if you want, you can come onto the forearms for just a few breaths. So we did the koala, or the twisted down dog in the first kind of after the pigeon. So we're gonna do that again. If that really wasn't for you, I'm gonna offer you the chance to go into puppy pose, which is great, or child's pose. If you want to try a balance, kind of something different from koala, I don't know if we've done this together yet. It's been in a plan, but I don't think we've ever got to it before, so we'll try that. So from your pigeon, we're gonna come back up onto the hands, curl the toes under, three-legged dog. So use the core, push into the hands, lift the left leg up and back, bend the knee, open your hip, straighten the leg, square it off, set it down. Walk your feet in. Here we go for koala. If you're doing puppy, the knees are gonna come down. You're gonna walk your hands forward, forehead to the floor. It's a nice opener. Maybe child's pose, you know what to do. Okay, if you're in your koala, we step in. We're gonna do the same thing. Push into the right hand. Take your left hand to the right leg. Instead of twisting, we're gonna push weight, really firm the right shoulder first. Push weight into the left foot, or the right foot, I'm sorry. Take your left foot and touch it to the right foot. So now your down dog is narrow. Now can you pick your left foot up off the floor? Engage the core. And eventually, maybe straightening the leg so that you're just a two-legged dog here. And try and breathe and smile. And if you're falling, that's fine. Put it down. Unwrap. Down dog. Let's try the other side. So the right hand picks up and goes to the left shin or calf. Firm the left shoulder in. First, just slide the right foot to the left foot. Push weight into the left foot. Get light on the right foot. And maybe pick the foot up off the floor. Maybe it's just a few inches and then we fall. That's fine, because this is probably a new thing. Okay, so maybe just for a split second, we can lift that leg up a little bit higher. So you can just play with it. Play with your balance. Be easy on yourself. Come on down when you're ready. Child's pose. Settle down into the mat. If you're in child's pose and you want to kind of come on up, go ahead and come on up. Take some shoulder rolls. Yogi's choice. Good. Everybody come on up. Roll out the shoulders just a few times and then go forward. Nice. And when you're ready, downward facing dog. We'll just do a very quick warrior two sequence. Right leg up, inhale. Step the foot forward, exhale. Round your back heel, Virabhadrasana 2. Let's come on up. When we do a koala balance, it's poses like warrior two, where you're like, oh, I really appreciate you, warrior two, to be on 2 feet right now and not on my hands sometimes, right? Okay, so rolling the wrist, just taking care of your wrists. I know we're on them a lot. We use them a lot for vinyasa. Let's inhale, reverse your warrior. Straighten out the front leg. Trikonasana, triangle. Heel toe the back foot in a little bit. Hips, left moves toward right. Hips move back. Right arm reaches forward and down. Left arm up. Utthita Trikonasana. Take up a lot of space here. Shoulders down your back. Push into the ball of your front foot. Strongly pushing into the back foot. Nice full expansive breath. Good. Left hand to the heart, or to the hip. And then let's go into Ardha Chandrasana. So for room here, I'm going to slide my right leg back a little bit. Right fingertips to the outside of the right pinky toe. Lift the left leg up. So maybe we're just working with lifting a couple inches off the floor, making sure my toes and my kneecap face forward still. Or maybe if the leg is parallel to the floor, then straighten the bottom leg and firm the standing hip, and then take your arm up. If you are at a wall and this is a new pose, I would recommend doing it against the wall so you don't fall back. If you're feeling good here, just like we did earlier, we're going to inhale, exhale, let's bend the knee into the chest, in the elbow to the knee. Inhale, expand like a firework. Exhale, hug it in. One more like that. Inhale, find your focal point. Exhale, hug it in. Warrior two, step back. Come up, settle, inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Step back to plank pose, maybe a down dog, maybe a vinyasa. Moving through, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do the other side. Left leg up, inhale. Step the foot forward, exhale. Warrior two, come up. Good. Spread the arms, spread the fingers. Reverse your warrior. The right hand trickles down the back leg. Left arm stretches. Straighten your left leg. Lift the body up, heel toe in a little bit. Right hand comes to the hips. You can feel right hip moving towards left, hips moving back, spine moving forward. Lightly dropping left hand, right arm reaches up. Shoulders down your back. Again, leg is, we soften behind the knee by pushing into the ball of the front foot. Revolving bottom ribs slightly toward the sky. We've done some twisting here, so you can even feel how you can find just a gentle mini twist in the upper back in triangle pose. Look down, take the right hand to the hip, left fingertips down onto the floor. So they're kind of on the diagonal of the pinky, and then bear weight on the left leg as you just pick your right foot up. Maybe this is where we are, and the right arm comes up. Maybe we're parallel. We can straighten the bottom leg. Using a block helps with that. If you're here, expanded, inhale. Exhale, pull it all in. Bend both knees, tiny little package. Inhale, get bright. Expand, just try it. Exhale, maybe we're wobbling, maybe we're falling out. Inhale, rely on your glutes, your left hips, outer hips to turn on and fire. And pull it in. Expand one more time, and then we'll find warrior two. Back it up. Reach it out. Inhale. Exhale, arms down, step back. Plank pose. Inhale, let's do one last chaturanga. Or not. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take it back. Good. Beautiful. Look at your hands, and then we'll come to a little seat. Hop through. If you'd like, take your legs forward. Give them a little shake. Good, okay. So we've done a pigeon. I want to offer you 3 options for another variation of pigeon. If you're feeling kind of cooked, option 1, thread the needle. You lie on your back, figure 4, lace hands behind the leg. If you want to ground yourself down for a moment, option 2 would be double pigeon. Take the right shin on top of the left. You're in a seat, fire log pose. You can always prop the right knee, and then you can fold forward a little bit if you'd like. Option C would be a toe stand variation, if you're feeling kind of crazy right now. So we're gonna start standing. Find the right knee, bend the right knee, find your figure 4 here. Bend your knee here. So it's like chair, it's like a balancing pigeon. You can stay here, or take your hands down to the floor. Maybe blocks might be better, okay? Now the weight is gonna come into the hands as you bend the bottom leg and come to the ball of the foot. And then the hands bring the weight back so that you can bring your spine up. So whatever you're finding, left hand can come to the heart, right hand come to the heart, and you find your balance. And some days this is easier than others. So my sits bone is on my left heel. This is just a fun thing you can do and try at home in pigeon. Some days I'm all over the place, and some days I could be really still. So let it go. Take a breath. If you're on your back, switch legs. If you're in double pigeon, release your legs forward, shake them out, and put the left shin on top. And if you tried the toe stand, take a forward bend, and then we'll do the other leg. So rolling up. Let's try it. We're on the right leg, bend the left knee, figure 4. Then we find our chair, or our one-legged chair. And then the weight comes down into the hands or your block. I'll show you from this view. So as I'm bending my bottom leg, I'm putting the weight into my hands, and then I shift the weight back into the ball of the foot. Okay, so as long as knees feel comfortable here, then you can upright the spine by using the core and finding a spot to focus on, and then maybe you can bring the hands to the heart. So breathing deeply, flexing the foot actively, and smiling. And then let it go. Good. Forward fold or a squat. Okay, and if you're on your left side, seated or on your back, great. Meet everybody in a seat. So let's find our sits bones again. Shake the legs out. Good, and let's take them wide. Let's take them wide for Upavishta Konasana. Flexing the feet, finding the front of the sitting bones. Neutral pelvis. If the pelvis feels like it's going back, like this, and the feet go back, then your work is to put your hands back and lift the spine so that you can upright the spine and neutralize the pelvis. If you have this positioning and you're feeling good in the pelvis, then the hands can come forward and you can start to roll the pelvis forward, lower back, middle back, and upper back into the fold. So you want to think of being in a back bend almost, in a forward bend. So we're not like this going into it. You want to think of shoulder blades moving to the back of the heart, spine is long, coming down, breathing and settling. Good, and then let's back it on up, hands to the outsides of the legs, bring them together. Shift the bones. And then let's take Paschimottanasana. We want to find the sitting bones again. So if you feel upright on the sitting bones, spine long, deep breath, and then we're going to start to come forward a little bit. Try to keep the flat back. If you have a strap at home, working with that here on the balls of the feet is great. Don't feel like you have to grab your feet, maybe shins, but think about shoulder blades moving to the back of the heart. And it's just a slight kind of tucking the chin to the chest a little bit to lengthen the back of the neck. You can kind of find your way to whatever feels good. So I just like to think of the back bend going into a forward bend first, so that you're not going into a forward, a rounding, a flexion, and then going for further flexion. That's what is aggravating to the low back. So straps are great. Take one more deep breath. And slowly, let's lift up. Push your hands behind you. Take your elbows in together. Either bend the knees for an upward table, so you'll lift your hips up, or dig your heels into the floor for an upward plank, Purvattanasana. This is the east side stretch. So the Paschimottanasana is the west side stretch. This is the counter. Slowly come down. Inhale, lift the arms. Let's slowly take the tailbone to the heels and lower back down. Reach the arms up. Get a little stretch. Set up for a bridge pose. So when you're ready, push your feet. The feet are hip width apart. Push them down to lift the hips up. And then you can wiggle your shoulder blades underneath you. Maybe lace the fingers again. If you always lace the same way when you come to bridge, think about trying to do it differently the next time. Push your triceps down. Feel the inner thighs roll down. Tailbone lengthening to the knees. Feeling open in the front body. Decompressing the lumbar spine. When you're ready, unlace the hands, wiggle the shoulder blades back out, and take your hips back down to the floor. And then we'll take our feet about hip width apart, or mat width apart, and just let the knees drop in. Or a windshield wiper. Arms can come out to a T then, and you can just get that gentle rotation of the thigh bones, gentle twist. And then we'll heel to the legs back in and grab the knees wide for a happy baby pose. Maybe outer edges of your feet, grab your ankles or your heels, your big toes. Starting to close the eyes, and just getting that energy of Shavasana. In your happy baby, you can even think here, shoulder blades moving to the back of the heart. So you can even puff your chest up and take your tailbone down towards the floor. So you can feel your sacrum melting down. And then let's bring the knees into the chest, and feel free to stir the pot, taking the hands on top of the knees and moving the thigh bones around again in the hip sockets. Been really liking that rotation lately. And then hugging the knees in and rocking from side to side. And yogi's choice, any final movements? If you feel like an inversion would be great, slide your mat to a wall and stay there for 10, 20 minutes. Maybe legs go straight up here. Maybe you like a shoulder stand. Maybe you're ready for Shavasana. So just doing what would serve you right now. Take about a minute if you want to invert. Okay, so maybe anything I missed too, anything you like to do, maybe one final twist or anything else on your back. Supta Baddha Konasana is great. Wind down. Let your breath be smooth and easy. Find an anchor, whatever you're doing. And then whenever you are ready, slowly bring knees back into the chest one more time. Please carefully come down from whatever you're in. If you're at the wall, stay there. And then extend the legs for your final relaxation for Shavasana. So taking up a lot of space here. I like to kind of lift my hips, tuck my tailbone toward my heels, and then put my hips back down. And then just let the feet fall open, the arms spread, so there's space underneath your armpits, palms face up. Let your body settle. Let the bones become heavy. Let the skin and the muscles and the tissues all soften their grip, their work. You're sinking into your mat. Just allowing the body to digest the practice, to assimilate the benefits. If you're still holding on to any breath work, you can release that. If you're holding on to any effort, release and sigh out the mouth. Allow yourself to be still and let go. Remember that the love you give yourself is also the love that extends out to the world. And by nurturing yourself, your surroundings become filled with light. and treating yourself with kindness, you are actually showing how grateful you are to be part of the magical unfolding of life. Slowly, when you're ready, begin to breathe a little deeper and move your body as you're ready. Wiggle fingers, toes. Take a big stretch. If you're at the wall, feel free to stay. If you're at home, Shavasana, stay. If you're ready to move on with your evening, please roll to your right side. Take a breath there. And use your hands to push yourself up slowly to a seat. Bring the hands together at the heart. Grateful. Thank you so much. Namaste.